Now let me introduce you with the sponsor of this video, Filestack. As a developer, we often need to work with file uploader. Here Filestack comes to play. Filestack is a simple file uploader and powerful APIs to upload, transform, deliver any file into your application. Filestack makes it easier to get files from your user. You can get users' content from anywhere and improve file and video upload with powerful, easy-to-use API. You can get users' content directly from popular sources like Facebook or Google Drive and many more. If it is not enough, you can also add your custom source. You can give your users the power to manipulate their images before they upload. Easily transform, convert and optimize images or apply beautiful effects and filters to any image. You can do crop, resize, flip the image, apply filters or do some adjustments with the tones. So the user will have full control to customize the image before they upload. Finally, all the application requires responsive files. So Filestack will prepare responsive audio, video, images and document files to be delivered fast, optimized and secure. Beside all these, they have other features like filter content, which will do bias detection, copyright detection, object detection, etc. Filestack OCR, which will help you to digitalize documents, and they have other features. So I think you can definitely check it out. They have good documentation and tutorials. The link will be in the description. So now here in our single blog post, if I go to here, so right now we are having only this text, as you can see. So now let's create this single blog template. So here in our single blog template, first of all we need to actually get the single blog using the context, and in our context we already know we have the ID for the single blog, and here we can export a query. So export constant query, so it will be the post query. So this is a GraphQL query, so we need to import the GraphQL. So here, so this page context that we will have in this template from our Gatsby node, this context will be automatically available in this GraphQL query, so we can use it. So how we will use it? So let me show you. So query, and let's name it single blog query, and here we will use, so we will say that we are expecting an argument here. So the argument will be ID, and it will be a string, so a string, and it is necessary, required. And after that, inside this query we can use that. So we can say sanity blog, and here we can say the ID for the sanity blog will be equal, and we can use the argument that we have, which is this one. And now here we will get the single blog post which will be matched with this ID, and for this one we will need the title, and also we will need the publish date, and after that we need the raw body. So after that we need the cover image, and inside the cover image we will have the asset. Inside that we will have the Gatsby image data, so Gatsby image data, and after that also we need the, inside our cover image we need the alt text, and after the cover image we need the categories for this blog post, categories, and here we will need the title, and also we need the slug, and inside the slug we will need the current. So categories, so this should be A, no, this should be E, fine. So categories, so there will be this E, and that's fine. And after that we need the author for this blog post, so let's also get that. So author, and here we need to say that the name of the author, slug for this author, and the slug will be slug.current. So that's it for our author, only name and the slug here. So after that, now we have all the query, and here in our single blog post, let's actually console log it and let's see what is in this query. So we can actually get the data from the props, which will be the result of this query, and we can console.log this data. And if I save, And if I open my console here, I can see this object. If I open this object, I can see my this is the blog post, as you can see, demo post 4, and from the path, as you can see that this is the demo post 4. And if I go to my home page and if I open other one, if I open the demo post 1 and if I open it, I can see my console log. And if I go to my console log, I can see the title of this one is demo post 1. Great, which means we are actually getting the correct blog post from this query, and now we can use this data to create our single blog post. So let's do that. And also let's actually destructure this. So blog equals to data.sanity blog. So which will actually destructure this block from our data, as you can see. So now we can use it very easily. So first of all, we need to get the styles. So let's get the styles. So instead of this div, we can say single blog style, and we need to import that. So let's import this style somewhere here, and single blog style. Okay, styles, so there should be this S. And also after that, let's go to our SEO and change the name, change the title for this page, title. So I will say the title will be blog.title, so blog.title. So once we have that, also need to import the SEO. I think we need to import it manually, so import SEO. We need to go to our components folder, and here we have the SEO. Fine. So once we have this SEO, we can see that the title for this blog post page, as you can see, is changed. Now it is the title of our blog post, which is fine. And after that, we need the page space in the top and bottom. So let's import this. Let's say that in the top we will have 80. And also in the bottom we'll have 100, and that's it. And after that, let's go to our div with the class of container, and inside this div we will have div with a class of block header, and here we will have our Gatsby image. So Gatsby image, and this Gatsby image will be from our Gatsby plugin image, and here this is dynamic image, so that's why we need to pass the image. So this image will be the Gatsby image data that we got from this query, as you can see, this Gatsby image data. So we need to pass those. So we can say blog.coverimage .asset .gatsby image data, like that. So once we have that, we should see our Gatsby image. And the last thing we need to do is we need to import this page space. So let's do that here. Import page space from, we need to go to the components and page space. Fine. So as you can see that we can see our cover image. Awesome. And also in our Gatsby image, we need to pass the alt text here. So for the alt text, we can use the blog.coverimage .alt. So we already have this alt, as you can see that inside the cover image. That's what we are using for the alt text. And also for the class name, so this will be our style. So we can say for the class name, it will be blog cover image, like that. And that's it for our cover image. And after that, let's go to our title. So after this Gatsby image, let's go to the title, and here we need to import the title, and we need to provide a class name as well, title, like that. And here let's say that blog.title, and if I save, I can see my blog title. Awesome. And after that, let's go to our paragraph text and import that. have the class name so that we can have the correct style here. So the class name that will be here is the published at. So this will be our published at. So inside here, inside this paragraph text, we will have the blog.published at. And if I save that, I can see my published at date, which we need to format. So let's use the datefns package. So format, and inside that we need to use the new date object, and here we need to pass this blog.published at something like that, and also we need to pass the format, so which will be this format. And like that. And also we do not need this anymore, so we can delete this. So that's it. So if I now save, now we should see the, let me refresh, we should see okay, there is module cannot resolve this path. So I think I got this error because we are actually importing this format from this path, but it should be from our datefns. This should be directly imported from the datefns. Okay, so fine. Now you need to make sure that you are actually importing the format from the datefns, and now it should be fine. And also we can see this nice formatted date. And also here we are getting this error because we are not getting any kind of defined alt text. The reason behind that is we actually misspelled alt here. So now it should be fine, and if I refresh, there should be no error. Okay, there is no error, as you can see. So we can see our published date, as you can see here. And also what we need is we need an icon for before our this text. So let's actually do it. So we can use this icon, so FI calendar. So if I open this, and we need to import this, so come here and import this from, we need to go to the React icons /fi. So as you can see, the nice icon is here, which looks good. And after that we need to add the category. So after this paragraph text, let's get another paragraph text. So paragraph. So inside this paragraph text, let's also have a class name here. So class name will be, so this will be our category, so we can say category text. And here inside this paragraph we need to have first of all, let's add the icon, so bi category. So this will be, we will import it later. So after the icon we will have a span here. So inside this span we will actually go to each of our blog post categories. So we need to loop through each of categories. So blog.categories categories. So we need to map through each of them. So once we are mapping, we will have the each of individual item and also the index here. So for each of our category, we need to actually return something. Let's say that we will return this h1, where I will say that item dot title will be rendered. So now as you can see that we need to import this. Let's import, copy this and go to the top and import this from React icons /bi. So it should be fine. I can see my category icon as well the category name, virtual reality and the development. Fine. Now instead of having this h1, we will actually create a span. So let's do a span here. Now inside this span we'll have this text, and if we save that, Now as you can see that it is looking much better. And also whenever we are actually mapping, we need to provide a key here. So key will be, so let's say that the key will be item.slug.current, because the slug will be always unique, which is fine for this case. So after that, inside this span, instead of having this text, we will have a link. So inside this span, let's say that link, which will be coming from our Gatsby. So inside this Gatsby link, we will actually show this title. So now it is link, as you can see. Whenever I'll hover, it is link. And also we need to provide the slug, the path for this one, and this will be, so here we need to make sure that it will be after the after our domain, it will be categories, and after that it will be slug of the category. So we need to say that item.slug.current. So also we need this $sign here, item.slug.current, like that. So now it will be linked with the, as you can see that, with the categories, and after that the category slug. So and also after that we need to actually separate these two categories. So whenever we will have multiple category, we need to actually separate them with a comma and a space. So for that, after the link, let's say that if our index is smaller than block.categories.length -1. So if it is smaller than the category length, what we will do is we will actually do a separation here with comma and a space. Otherwise we will not do anything. So that's it. And now we can see a comma and a space separation. Fine. So that's it for our categories. It's looking good. And finally we need to add the author here. So after this paragraph text, let's create another paragraph text here. So here let's create a paragraph text. So paragraph text, and inside that we will have our author's icon first of all. So fi user, and we cannot import auto import that. Also after this one, we need to create a link which we need to link with the author. So here also we need to make sure that it is after the domain authors / author slug, and this should be a $sign. And here we need to say that blog.author.slug.current. And now inside this link we need to provide the name of this author. So author.name, and we need to import fi user here. So here we can use fi user, like that. Now we can see our fi user here, and we need some style for it. So in our paragraph text we need to add a class here. So the class name will be the author, like that. So now we have this nice style. So now we have this header ready. Before we add our blog post body, after this div, let's add a hr. This will also have a class name here. Class name will be the hr, and now we should see nice divider here. And after that we will have the body. So let's get a div with the class of body, and here we'll have my portable text. So this body is portable text, so that's why we should pass this body value inside of my portable text component. So my portable text, so this is the component that we already used. So here we need to pass the value. So value will be the blog.body, raw body, and we need to import our my portable text component. So import my portable text from, we need to go to our components and my portable text. So that's it. Now you can see this is the regular text that we have, and also the heading is working default, and the reason behind that is if I go to my portable text component, here we use this as a h1, and if I inspect this, as you can see that this is h1 and we have default style for the h1. And here as you can see right now we are having only this h1 because this one is having the default style. So we are not seeing our custom code blocks, and also we are not seeing our image for this one, because in this demo post one we already added a custom code block and also a custom image which we cannot see. So let's actually add those, and for that we need to go to our my portable text and we need to modify there. So first of all, let's say whenever we are having our normal text, we will render it as a paragraph text like we are doing here, which is fine. And also after that, let's say if we have h1, what we need to do, so instead of having this default style, whenever we'll have a h1, we can actually say, it will be rendered as a title. This title we already have, and inside this title we can directly pass the children. So now if I save, I can see this is a h2 right now, and also we are having our default style, as you can see. So awesome. So after that, let's add our custom code block. So now after that, after the blocks, we need to go to our types. So these are our custom types. So here we can actually, here we can define our custom types. So custom code, so that we want actually preview. So the name, you should be specific about that. So inside our custom code, whenever we'll have the custom code, how we want to show that. So first of all, we will get the value, and here we will return directly. So return. So what we will return? We will return this component, which is the syntax highlighter. So syntax highlighter. So this is the syntax highlighter that we already. So here it is, React syntax highlighter. So this is the package that we already installed, and we are actually importing the Prism as a syntax highlighter. So after that, we need to pass the string here. So we can say string, and inside the string we will pass the value dot code. So this is the text, and we need to replace this regex here, and so inside this regex, this will be the end of line, so new line, and we need to, it will be always in the end. So this is the regex, and we need to replace this with the empty string, So this will be fine, and also we need to specify the theme for this syntax highlighting. So let's say that a style will be the theme, and this theme we are actually getting from our syntax highlighter dist folder ESM style prism and BS dark, and you will find many other theme in this folder. You can actually choose which one you want to use. So I will use this one. So here, and after that, let's say that we'll have a class name here, and this class name will be the body code. And once we do, now if I refresh, I should see something. Okay, I'm seeing some warning. So okay, this one will be the types instead of type, so there will be this S. So now we can see our custom code, but it is not having the correct highlighting, right? So for that we need to specify the language, and this language will be coming from our sanity. So we need to set the language, and the language will be value dot code dot language, and that's it. So now we are getting the syntax highlighting as well. So awesome stuff. As you can see that we can see our custom code highlighting, which is looking really nice. And also let's do the same thing for our custom image. So after the custom code, let's do the custom image, and for that we need to get the value and we need to, so inside that, first of all we need to get the image data. So image data equals to, and image data, and we need to say that get image, and this is a function which will be coming from Gatsby plugin image, and we need to actually get image, and from inside that we need to pass our value dot asset, and also we need to get the sanity config. So sanity config, so we already have the sanity config, do we? So let's see. Okay, we have sanity dash config. Yeah, we have sanity config, so we need to import that. So sanity config, so let's import it. So import sanity config from the sanity config file. Fine. So if I save that, and also, so after that, from this image data we need only the asset. So asset, and also we need to get the height and width for this image. So let's say that constant width, we need to destructure the width and the height for this image, and we will get those from this function, which is the get image dimensions like that. And inside this function we need to pass our value. So this get image, this function will be from our sanity asset utils. So if I go to our top here, import, we need to import the get image, and also get image dimensions. So dimensions, so from, we need to import those from our sanity slash asset utils. So this is we already installed. So here you need to do a quick check. So in your web folder package.json, make sure that you have this package installed. I mistakenly forgot to add this in my first test, so later I added this. So if you are having this package already, so that will be fine. But so if you do not have this package installed in your web package.json, you can just install it with, for that you need to just go to web folder and npm install sanity asset utils. So just install it if you do not have this package installed, and after that it will work fine. So now we need to actually import this from our, so now once we have those, if I save, still we are having some problem because here we are not finished yet. Once we have our height and width from our Gatsby get image dimension, we need to actually use the image object. So image, and here inside this image object we need to pass the URL, which will be image data, image data.url, and also we need to pass the height and width. So height will be the, so the height will be the same that we already have, the width will be the same that we already have. So now we are having this image object ready to use. So let's actually console.log this image object, and we should see this image object. So let's clear the console and refresh. Okay, I think I saw it. So here it is. Inside this we have the height, URL, and the width. Fine. So now we are having this object. So now what we need to do is we need to use this object to get our sanity image data. So for that, let's go to our source. Inside the source, let's create a new folder with the name of utils, and inside that we need to create a new file with the name of get sanity image data.js. So here we need to import get image data. So this will be from our Gatsby plugin image, and here first of all we need to create our URL. So function URL builder, and here we need to actually destructure the base URL that we have, because this is not the, so if I open, I should see the image. So we do not want to use this URL that we got, so we will create another URL which will be optimized version of it. So inside this base, for that we need to create this function, so URL builder, and inside that we need to pass our base URL and the width and the format, and the height and the format, and also the options. So now we need to return a optimized version of this base URL. So let's do that. So here inside the backticks, first of all we need to get the base URL, and after that we will do some parameters. So we'll set the width will be our specified width, and height will be our specified height, and also format, so FMT will be the our specified format, and the quality also, the quality will be, so this quality will be inside of our options. So options also here this, so options dot quality. So now we have our URL builder, which is the optimized version of this base URL. So you can see that this base URL, as you can see, so we will actually optimize this base URL with the given width, height and the format, and it will return this optimized URL, as you can see. So now after that, here from this file we need to export, a function which is get sanity image data. So that's the main function. So in this function we need to get the image first of all, and also rest of the props here, and we need to return get image data. So inside this get image data we need to pass this object where we need to pass our base URL. So base URL, so base URL equals to URL, image dot URL. So if I go to my portable text, so here it is the image and this is the URL that we are using currently, so image dot URL. And after that source width, so source width will be the image dot width that we specified again. So after that the source height will be image dot height, and URL builder. So for that we already have the URL builder function that we can mention here, and also plugin name. So we need to specify the plugin name that the image is coming from. So we are using sanity, so that's why we are using sanity, Gatsby source sanity. So we can use that. So Gatsby source sanity. Fine. So also the format will be the auto, and the quality, so for that it will be inside the options as we said. So quality, so quality will be 80, which is by default fine, and also finally rest of the props will be here. So if we add any other props, it will be here, and it will override any other default prop that we have here. So fine. So now we have this function ready, and if I come here in our portable text, we can use that. So here after this image, now we can say constant get, or we can say Gatsby image data equals to get sanity image data, and we can pass this image, and also we can pass the layout and here we can say that the layout that we want is the constraint, and that's it. So now we have our Gatsby image data, which we can directly use in our Gatsby image component, which we will be using here. So Gatsby image, so this will be component. So if I here inside this, let's pass the image. So this is a dynamic image, and we need to pass our Gatsby image data specifically, so which we got from here, as you can see. So Gatsby image data, and finally the alt text will be value.alt, and finally the class name, let's say that body image, and that's it. Awesome, as you can see that nice image. And if I come here this image, and you can see that this is the optimized version of our base URL. So here we can see the base URL, and also the width, the format, the quality, everything is actually specified here. Isn't it awesome? So I think that's it. If I close this, I can see my nice single blog post, and that's it for our this video. I'll see you in the next video.